Hi viewers, I welcome you back to 35th Chessbrainz Club Arena. I am Coach Abhishek and we have Coach Shubh with us. Hi Shubh, are you really excited for the tournament?
Yes, sir, as always. Yeah. And yeah, we are
Amazing to
going to
see.
witness masterpieces that kids are going to create on board.
That is absolutely correct. This is the 35th tournament we are consecutively doing for our students, and
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what kids are going to bring out of this.
Yeah, sure, sir.
So we are just 30 seconds away and the tournament is going to be with us.
And sir, as I mean, we can see 28 participants are there, but by the end, we usually reach 60, 70. So let's see.
That is absolutely correct. So we currently have 28 participants and we are going to see how this tournament is going to turn out for each of the students being a part of this.
Yeah,
And it is already live. So let us take a random username. Let's start with Cavalier.
sure.
Okay. So Cavalier is playing with the pieces of black.
I
Levitt
think
is
he,
playing from the pieces of white. Yeah.
yeah,
Have they berserked?
I
Okay, this
think
is a
so, sir.
different
Or,
game. This is a
yeah, this is
different
not,
game. The kid must be
uh,
playing with someone else.
yes.
Okay. So currently, Raghav is playing from the pieces of black and Arush is playing from the pieces of white. It's already looking pretty well for both the
Yeah,
players. They have
I
developed
think
their
they are
pieces.
in
Both are
seconds.
around 1800, right?
Yes, too high. Yeah.
Too high. That's correct. Okay, the position is shaping right now, and black is building the pressure along the e3 pawn, as well as they are threatening to take on b2 as well. Okay, so after the pawn trade, the dark square diagonal has already opened up on the opponent's king, and black is looking slightly better in this position.
Now they might win a piece. I think so, sir.
There is also the threat along this diagonal too, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Or
here
just
white has decided to play a dynamic move, which is bishop captures h7, sort of a Greek gift, but it generally doesn't work, especially when the knight is on f6,
knight
right?
is guarding. Yes, exactly.
So the knight can simply chop here, and then I think black is in a very good space right now. But on the other hand, we see the white was trying to win the bishop on d4. But there's a
Okay.
pin, so I think black is going to win a knight if white is not going to defend the knight on c3. This has to be defended, so they moved it away and they offered a trade. Okay. White is well aware about the things and they decided to offer a queen trade. Would you offer a queen trade to your opponent in these kind of positions?
No, sir, honestly not. When I see my king's file is open, I won't.
Exactly. Generally, offering the queen trade is not a suggestion in such positions. The bishop has been played on g5 at this point. And here, on the other hand, white is trying to pile up on
Win
the
the queen.
f6 knight.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Black gave up the
Now,
knight.
I'm just wondering with one thing at this point, the queen can take and the king is a bit broken. I think the black king is in a trouble. The good thing about the black here is that white pieces are still a bit underdeveloped, because of which the helper with the queen is not around right now. Otherwise, it could have created problems for the white team. Like
Right,
maybe, a ladder checkmate sort of position coming up.
right. But sir, white knight could have played knight g3. And
Exactly. Knight g3 is
mm,
needed. You can slowly maneuver your knight along the
yeah,
king side, and then I think a good strategy by the black too. That oh. This was a super fork on the king and this
and the
bishop.
bishop. Yeah,
Yes, there was no way to save both of those, obviously, and this is why the king safety is really important while we play chess. Now, black has created a threat along the g2,
oh my
but
god.
look at the
Wow.
game of white. They
Yes.
pinned down the queen on the king and good game. I mean, this is an 1800 game for real.
Yes.
But now the queen is in danger and the mating threat is also in the air. I just want to see how white is going to stop both of these things at the same time.
Can it be met with e5?
E5 is a bit tricky. They have decided to counter attack in this position. So
Yeah.
they how is white going to keep how is black going to keep the tempo with themselves and still continue this game? I think that is going to say a lot about this position.
Correct, sir. Yeah.
So they decided to press the knight, but now I see this nasty fork on e6.
But sir, the mate is hanging on g2, so white can't go for that.
Yes. Oh, yes. Well said. So at this point, the fork is still there, but I think
It is
this is going
manageable.
to
Two rooks versus a queen, and only two
queen.
pawns. Yeah.
Yes, I mean it's actually white is the one who is doing good in this position because we obviously know two rooks are far more stronger than one queen, and
Yes.
at the same time, the number of pawns. Okay, they started losing the pawns. Now black is having a passer along the a file in this position. Not the best, but it can still get the game going.
Yes. And very better thing for white, sir, as I'll mention, is king safety. It will be very hard to attack him.
Yes. I mean, just look at this. You can try for rook e7, rook d8. The game is already off. I mean, then obviously there will be a queen intervention on, let's say, g8, but then after rook takes, already white is going to win that.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, the king safety is everything in such kind of positions. It is going to make a lot of difference. Now, I'm just wondering if rook e7 is still possible or not because the white king is also exposed. So can they run into some quick threat like, let's say, rook a1 followed by rook e5 or some queen e5? Okay, queen e5 isn't there.
Yeah, because e file is covered by the rook,
The,
so that check
it's
is not
covered by
there.
the rook for real, yeah. That's true. Now there is a mate hanging on d8, obviously. I think black is in some serious problem right now. Okay, they managed to pin down the rook. Good strategy. But is that enough to
Rook
save the
d7.
whole game?
I think so. Rook d7 was a better option, sir, isn't it?
Rook d7 was much better in the position actually. I think rook d7 could have played a better role in this position. Rook d7 was a wonderful way to go. But anyways, black has started rolling the passer and then are they going to still bind that rook again with queen b8 or not? That's going to be a big question
Yes,
in this
they are
position.
going to. Yeah.
Is black going to go for a threefold sort of position? Looks
He should
like.
think about it. Yeah.
Yes. And the threefold repetition has concluded this game. It is a draw.
Wow.
Both kids played really well, and we witnessed a wonderful endgame by the students here. Let us
Yes.
go on the next one now.
Sure.
All right. So we have 45 participants who have joined so far. Parents, you can put your kids' username in the chat, and we are going to feature their game, obviously. Now, let us try to take a game of Rishi against Karthik. In this game, Karthik is playing with the white pieces and Rishi is playing with the black pieces. What is your take on this position?
I think black, sir, is going all out.
Yes, that is correct. Even black is currently a knight and a rook down too.
Yes.
Okay.
And
This
now
is
the attacks
not
are over.
looking good for black actually,
Yeah.
because the white has so many pieces around the king, which is going to look after the king's safety and ensure that the king doesn't goes in any sort of trouble.
Also, sir, white's c pawn is bit advanced.
That is correct. I mean, white is already in a very good shape right now. Like, again, this pawn is not having a longer life after it gets attacked by the both of rooks, and even the queen can come for the assistance. Wait, why did black played queen to e8? It must be a mouse slip, I guess. Okay, it's not looking too good right now. Did you saw that the black has blundered the queen on e8?
Yes, sir, I did. I am still amazed by that. Why?
I mean, I'm unable to figure out why the kids have decided to go that way, but white has smoothly executed this checkmate, and yes, they have played a good game.
Yeah.
Also, another wonderful thing is currently the leaderboard is leaded by 1100s and 1200s if you see, right?
Yes,
So
yes, yes,
players of the lower rating have improved, and this time they are also willing to showcase their skills obviously. So at
yes.
the top, can we
I
feature a random username from the page 3?
definitely, sir. Let's see Madhav's game.
Why not? Okay. So Madhav is taking on Mihir. Madhav is playing with the white pieces and Mihir is playing with the black pieces. But Madhav's time, the clock is playing an important
Mm,
role here for the white. They are
yes,
fighting clock and their opponent together at the same time, and
and
fight
he's
timed
writing
out.
this.
Let us just quickly try to see in last 10 moves what has taken place.
Sure, sir.
I mean, let's try to see from where the game got changed. So basically, here, White had the queen, so obviously White was
Yes,
better in the position by the move 40, let's say, and then Black, kept on
discovered.
playing high tempo moves. Yeah,
Yeah,
kept on playing those high tempo moves, and this discovered check gave them the. It was a high on tactic game, and then White tried coming back, but it wasn't enough. And again, the
yes,
clock, played a very important role in this game. It played a
definitely.
huge role. Yeah. And finally, we see that this position has gone to the Blacks' favor, giving them the whole point of the game.
Yes.
Good game by both the players here. Let us take some other game now. So, which game would you like to pick up out of this list?
Sir, I'll go with Arna. Take Arna's game.
Yes, let's go for her game. Okay, so Arna is playing
Wow.
with white pieces, taking on Sanvi. She's playing black. There's a rating difference of around 300 points.
But wow, opposite side castle. Sir, I think this
Yes.
game is going to be firecrackers.
Yes, this is going to be wild and aggressive with firecrackers, obviously. Generally, I don't recommend my students having the bishop on a3, b3, g3, h3, such kind of
Yeah.
squares, as these squares creates a lot of problems. The general point is the bishop is likely going to get trapped if it's on one of these 8 squares. I
Mm,
generally don't ask my students to have the bishop on these squares, rather trading them down for a knight is even a better choice. But we need to
yes.
see how this game turns later. And black is attacking in the center. The center has opened up,
Lost that. Yeah.
and it was a discovered attack. White was not able to figure it out, and they have ended up losing their rook. Even if they have lost their rook, I still feel white is slightly better in terms of activity. The
Yes.
bishop, which I said wasn't playing a big part, has now got
Suddenly
activated.
opened up.
The
Yes.
knights in the center covering of the pawns. I think everything is, just favoring the white right now. Even if, like, look at this bishop fork at this point.
Oh, they lose the rook now. Bishop takes
Yes,
f7.
yes, that is actually correct.
Sorry, sir.
Now, the queen is going to take back.
Yeah.
Is there any way by which the white can win this loose knight as well? That's what
Yes,
I'm
sir. I was
thinking.
thinking about that. Yeah, and queen e2, maybe queen e2.
Yes, queen e2 can be a very good way to go. Now, queen takes knight. Is there a possibility for the same?
Yeah,
Pawn
why
takes
not,
no.
sir? Yeah.
No, but you are giving a queen and
The
a rook
king is
for
yes. For knight and
might
queen,
not
yeah.
be the best. Yeah. If the king, let's say if the king has already moved on b1, which we see in general
Usually,
positions, okay,
we see,
especially when long castle, the king weakens along this diagonal, right? So
yes,
as a coach, we generally ask the students to take the king in those positions. So white is cooking knight f7 at this point.
yes, and they get it.
I think they are going to make it, yes. And now the rook is
But
going to
I'm
fall,
thinking about
gaining a
queen
tempo on
e2.
the queen. Queen can then take probably on e4, let's say.
No, sir, I'm thinking about queen a2. They are planning that. Black is planning queen
Oh, a2, a1 is the way. I didn't pay attention to that queen actually. I think
a2.
kids are having, better preparation here.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
how about pawn
Still,
b3 now?
still winning the rook. Oh, pawn b3.
Pawn
Yeah. Wow.
b3, it this is a mating, it creates a mating net, so the king can't
Yes.
escape the back rank, and then probably you can again think of queen a1. But with the skewer, here the kid decided to get a rook back, and yeah, I mean, playable,
Yeah.
but I think pawn b3 could have been a better deal, I guess.
Definitely.
Anyways,
Okay.
I'm just wondering what is the knight doing on a6? I think the black can slightly improve their knight, they can bring it into the game, and that knight can have a better purpose in this position.
Yes. White needs to somehow save their pawns. If it goes into a knight endgame, it is going to favor them.
That is actually correct. I'm completely going to agree to you. Here they have lost one important pawn in the position, and white is marching fiercely with the king.
And
We are in a
answer.
queen minor
There is
piece
no. Oh my
endgame. I
God.
don't know if
Knight.
this is the
Knight
best
e4.
choice. That's what I was just saying. The white was fiercely marching with their king, and I knew if it's a queen endgame, king safety matters the most. I
Yes.
think Sanvi took she kept her composure while playing, and then when she got the opportunity, she capitalized on it. I think both players played a very good game, but at the end, only one can be a winner, right? We are getting a
Definitely.
request for Advik. So
The queen's pawn.
currently, Advik is playing with black's pieces against Anshika. She's playing with the white's pieces. And there is a rating difference of 500 points, but it is still going to be an important game to watch out for. Now, on the one side, we see a bit of king safety is compromised for black here, as the
Yes.
g5 pawn is missing. And on the other hand, I think Anshika has played a sort of London setup, if I'm not wrong, because
Yeah. D4
we
bishop
see the
f4.
pyramid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
Dark
the
square is
dark
missing.
square bishop is missing, so obviously it must have taken the space on f4 and then probably getting traded with the knight of black from
Mhm.
f6. Uh, White is playing quite strategically. White is threatening to take the pawn on f5. That is quite strategic and obvious. Later on, they're also looking to probably go for h6 as the bishop has already left its square. So knight captures h6 with a check is a quite a common thing to watch out for. But generally in London, the activity of the queen can define a lot of things. For
Yes.
instance, I ask my students to generally land a knight on e5, and then the idea revolves around, playing
Mhm.
queen f3 and then, slowly maneuvering it to the king side. But as the queen is locked by its own pieces, even if the king is fully weakened right now, maybe the white will not get a complete advantage out of it.
I think black should, yeah, good. Black should not go for trading pieces. That will help white side better.
That is true. That is true. Now we need to see how this game is going to shape further.
King either g7 or h8, attacking the knight.
Yeah, only two squares are remaining. And if at some point, white manages to get this queen, it is going to, the game is going to get tricky for black here. Now, what is white trying to do? That's what I'm trying to understand. Are they like looking to offer a trade? Are they trying to like get more pieces?
I thought e4 was the better option just to open the queen and
Yes, I certainly agree with you because after e4, the queen can land, and once the queen is in, I think the game is almost over for the black from that point.
Yes.
But we need to see how Anshika is going. Okay, she's preparing something. Maybe queen
Back
c2, maybe bishop c2, queen
queen.
d3 threat.
Yeah.
Obvious, yeah. Bishop has went on h4 at this point, and yes, she has prepared the silent battery. We need to
Yeah.
see if Advik can threat her spot and stop this mating threat. Well, is there any way left?
Is
Maybe
there any?
pawn f5.
Yeah.
Maybe pawn f5. What else can be done? I mean, that's the only move, I guess.
Hmm.
This only move in the position can save Advik's game, and he has finally figured it out. At 700, I don't expect students to find such kind of silent threats, but good play by Advik here, good presence of mind, good composure, good decision making. Everything is, even though he's
Definitely.
losing, but he's trying really well. I think that's a thing I need to appreciate about this kid.
Yes.
White is bringing their knight into the game. Maybe they are
That's
looking to get a fork now, and then the bishop is not going to fall, but certainly the rook.
Rook will. Yeah.
I think knight to f6 shouldn't be difficult for Anshika to figure out at 1200, I guess, and then obviously the game will shape later.
Can knight on g3 play any role in opening up queen and bishop battery? White's knight. Can he help anyhow?
Yes, it can, especially if they manage to give up the knight. But after getting the rook down, if let's say king takes, then I think that is doable, quite doable. But on the other hand, if the queen comes into the defense right now, it
Yeah.
can make the position tricky. If let's say
Yes.
king
We
takes and
solve
then
most of the problems.
yes. Now, one thing I would like to suggest for Advik, as a part of his improvement, Advik's
Yes.
pieces are not, they're active, but they are not mobilized yet. Like they are developed, but not fully, they are not activated fully. Like those pieces need to have, good squares in the middle game.
Yeah.
Yes. And that can make a slight difference. Now, at this point, obviously, the bishop is not hanging exactly, we can say, but this knight is going to play a tricky role. I'm wondering if Advik is going to go for bishop captures f5. Or there can be a small tactic in the position, maybe pawn e4 obstruction followed by bishop captures f5. But at 700, it is really
Why not?
difficult for the kid to figure that out.
Yeah.
At 700, the position can really get tricky. At least I'm not thinking that Advik must have gone through that topic till now. But if he naturally even figures it out, it is going to be a good game for him. The kid has figured it out. Good show
Wow.
by Advik here. Quite unexpected,
Yes.
but still coming and trying his really best. And then followed by bishop takes f5. I think black is coming back in the game. Because after bishop takes f5, you have ideas like queen g5, and then obviously you can start threatening some attack on the white's king too. The kid is left with only 37 seconds, so this is going to make a difference. But I think
Yes.
white has decided to go aggressive, and they've finally mobilized their queen on the king side. And
Now it's
what
time for
black
black
can do?
going from e7, I think so. Or- Okay.
Okay, they got their queen. They're like trying to ensure that their pieces don't fall. Also, this
Yes.
is covering the h8 check, which is the most important check, even h6. So they're ensuring their king doesn't get checked, which is a good strategy for defense, I'm rather going to say.
Definitely.
Oh, now it's time to go for g5 and then maybe try some solid attack on the white's king. Also,
G4.
black can move king
Rook.
e7, rook e1,
Yeah.
rook g8, right? I mean, if that happens, I think black can completely dominate this position.
Still manage,
I mean,
unfortunately.
long-term strategy, but yeah. Knight takes. Wait, the queen side is opening up, and that is also favoring. That is also completely favoring, but the kid is running out of the clock at 700. How
Yes.
are you going
Only
to manage that clock?
yes. Only thing that's not in favor of Advik as of now is that clock. That's it.
That is absolutely true. What a good presence of mind by Anshika here. She played pawn f5. not only winning a tempo on the queen and putting Advik under the time pressure, but then covering G2 silently with her queen. So again, she's showing why she's a 1200 right now.
But sir, was Alposon possible there at that point?
On percent, yes, I didn't pay attention to that actually. Yes, it is possible. But after queen takes, I think it's not of a big problem. Just imagine after this move, let's say you on percent, and after queen takes, the queen is into the defense, and things can get tricky. Wait, what happens
Yeah,
after
that was
bishop to g4? Let's say
yeah, that was the point. After let's say,
on percent, queen captures, bishop g4. Is the
yeah.
queen trapped?
Um, no, sir, I don't think so. Is
Okay, then where is she going to run? They can't take on d5 because the knight is guarding from b4.
yes, 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 yes. Okay.
Looks like it's a trap.
Crap,
But
yeah,
again,
wow.
for
I
700
didn't
kid, I
even
think it's
consider. Oh,
more than the level. We shouldn't be asking that at least. Yeah,
no,
I think the kid played really well, and Anshika, completely won this game.
yeah,
Currently, Raghav is leading the board, and the kid hasn't lost, I guess, a single game here. Still on
yeah.
the streak. Yeah, he just drew one. He just draw one game here, and then the game is still going on. We have 49 participants in today's competition right now. Okay, Nitilin has a made up. Let's try to feature his game. So Nitilin is playing with the white pieces. Rishi is playing with the black pieces. And here we see white has not castled. Okay.
The question is, the queen is still on d1 and king traveled to.
And
God.
white is almost a 1300.
Wow.
Okay. So we had the Italian on the board. On by the 21st or 22nd move, I don't expect such an early attack, especially in Italian. But something has taken place. So black gave a knight sacrifice on this g4 square to get a permanent pin of the bishop on the knight followed by the queen. And black had more material. White had more material. So they thought of trading down the pieces, which is fair enough. Now, are you going to make a capture with the A pawn or with the C pawn in this position?
Sir, I think c pawn will be better as per my choice. I'll capture with the c
Okay.
pawn.
But isn't this D6 will weaken up and the rook won't open up too?
Yeah, correct, sir. But I think black knight can go on e7 and then they can think of pushing d5 in the center. Maybe.
True. Yes, that can be, but generally taking towards the center is like a good option. But anyways,
Yes.
both ways it's
Yeah,
playable.
it is a
But we
good
need to
option.
see how black dominated. So black came up with this this move knight to d4, putting pressure on the pink piece. I think this was defendable if I'm not wrong. And knight
Yeah.
d5 was played later by. Also, I guess this is also one of the reasons when white get this outpost, you want to kick that knight away, right? And then
Yes.
if that pawn is missing, it can by 28th move the game has ended. Let's try to quickly recap this. So later,
Yeah. Sir, one question I had for you. What was the reason of king f1? I am still not able to understand that.
yeah, there is no certain reason King F1 was not needed at any point here. Maybe they could have focused on connecting rooks or just getting their pieces out. It was not required at that point here. Maybe they could have thought of knight e2 here and covering this weak square maybe.
Yes, definitely.
Anything could have been a way, but I think this was not needed and okay, playable position. Now they started moving the king unnecessarily here. And black played very strategic chess, okay? Even though their pawn structure wasn't the best, white had the outpost, white was piece up, but then black just, opened up the game with f file and then unnecessary king movement has caused everything for them, I guess.
Yes, and totally suffocating the a1 rook. Till last, he is not able to join the game.
What was the need? I mean, I'm still wondering because no kid has did it before. So yeah, I think their coach is definitely going to, cover up this thing before the next tournament because yeah, I think this has costed a big because at 1300 I expect him to play, be at least in the top 20, let's say. Because I've seen his game before as well. He's played really, really good. Yeah. Mm. Okay, can you take a random username from this page, please?
Sure, sir. Number 40, Adrit.
Why not? So, Adrit is playing with the white pieces, and Arav is
Live on the
playing with the black pieces. Oh, yes, this is London, but looks like there was an anti-London setup after
yeah.
bishop to f5, and the position does get tricky. White can allow this doubling of the pawn, and then there's nothing wrong to it. I think black is looking better right now because their rooks are connected, even though they might have picked up a bit of uncomfortable position to play with. But white is launching a flank attack at this point. I mean, what would you suggest to your student if they are dealing with a flank attack? What can they do about it?
So to be honest, I just tell them to keep the position as closed as possible. Do not go for trades. And when the flank attacks are happening,
Yes. I mean,
and
see,
for knight c6. Uh, okay,
yes. I
queen is
mean,
sorry, my bad, my
Queen
bad.
is defending, but I think white is already better right now. A general idea I always suggest to my students, if their opponent, launches an early flank attack like here white has did without castling, let's say, in such positions, one of the main idea revolves around, striking back in the center, because opponent develops their pawns and pieces in the opening in the center itself. So if an early flank attack comes on the board, if you counter attack in the center, you can get a lot of tempo and you can distract your opponent and make them busy in defending your center attack. And that's how maybe you can, make a bit of progress. On the other hand, the white's king is in the center, so striking the center is one of the best ideas in the position. But I think after achieving this outpost on e5, I think white is already having the long-term advantage.
Yes.
And then here white decided to play queen c2. They blundered their queen and the game is still on. Here white offered the draw, but they declined. Yes?
Queen b3, they might be planning. Queen b3, queen b7, maybe. Mouse slip?
Mouse slip, yeah. Queen b3, queen b7 looks really fantastic after knight takes c6 sort of ideas, or just offering the queen trade maybe if you have more material then.
Yes.
So moves are played already, let's say. And white had a good game actually. They launched a good flank attack. The knight outpost, itself speaks, because that's what you try to do as a London player. And then,
but sir, what I think is with white, they lost the queen, but it's still playable, isn't it?
Playable because of the piece activity. I think it's 3 minor pieces for a queen, definitely. And piece activity is speaking more here, if you just say.
Yes.
Knight can come back on c6 if they want to.
Do you think, sir, knight a6 was a better option?
Knight to a6 in this position. I mean,
defended by the bishop, threatening rook c7. No, bishop is got. Ah, yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Takes will come because bishop is pinned right now.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I'm just thinking of queen captures there.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if white can somehow bring their d2 knight into the game, and if two knights can trip and coordinate with each other, this position can actually outplay black completely here.
Yes.
We are getting a request after this game. We are definitely going to take your kid's game. If the knights can coordinate, I think this position is going to get, disastrous for the black to defend, because then let's say knight a5, rook b3, slowly and steadily you are having a very solid attack. I'm just wondering what black can do to hold this position. There is no need to play pawn g3. I mean, you can simply, let's say, play knight rook b3, then just just going with some quick rook checks, figuring out some maybe tactic with your knights later because your knights will be hyper aggressive. I mean, they're going to be
Yeah,
hyper active.
active along the board. And sir, the idea you suggested only one defense is there, Queen B4, and it's a mate.
Yeah, true. So again, I mean, some moves have been played, I guess. So here, after the queen played a3, pincerting this knight on the rook, but then white decided to play knight a5 and the knight slightly came back. But yes, it is creating opportunities for the rook too with rook c6 sort of moves.
King A7, C7 is falling.
Yeah, king a7, rook a6 is also there if we want to try. But this can this lead to a mate? That is my biggest question because the earlier plan
And
suggested was slightly better here, but obviously for
knight
kids it can get
is
tricky.
knight C6 is coming. King
Knight
B8, knight
c6,
C7. Yeah.
yes. But was the other knight meant to be played there? Oh, knight c6 led to a deadly fourth, and the queen
Yes.
is off the game. Oh wow! I think now
Knight
white
goes
has
C5.
completely outplayed.
Yeah.
I mean, what a beautiful piece coordination, piece activity if you see from Adrit here.
Yes,
Ensuring even if
definitely.
his bishop is not playing a part, I think it's playing the most important part, I'm rather going to say, right? And then Adrit is finishing game off in the style with
Wow.
trapping the king in the Anastasia mate, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah,
Yes.
wonderful game.
And kids showing a beautiful example of not getting afraid of a queen if you don't have the
Without
queen.
like they're playing without a queen, I think that can make a lot of difference. Okay, let's try to take a game of Advik. We are getting multiple requests for them, so we are going to feature their game. Here,
Uh,
Parth is playing with the white pieces and Advik is playing with the black pieces. Both are under time pressure right now. Advik is having 1 second, Parth is having 16, and black has lost their time. It was almost an equal game, right? Except a pawn
yeah,
down.
one down, yeah.
Let's see where the most of the time has been taken. Let's quickly try to just go through and understand. So there was the Russian game here, and then the black kept on building the game. Both kids are below 1,000, so they obviously not be knowing so many openings. Yeah. White offered a bishop trade. The game was developing later. Black made a battery in this position.
Wow.
What is your take on this position? Like when the knight got attacked, bishop h2 was justified.
Uh, no, sir. But I was from long time. I'm waiting for pawn C6. Why the pawn is not opening
Yeah,
queens?
if
Yeah.
pawn c6 was much needed
No,
here to open up the queen's corridor. Yeah,
earlier, sir, when the knight was not played, I am eagerly waiting. Yeah, before few moves as well.
that is correct. Like, yeah, I guess here at this point, right?
Yeah.
Around this position, let's say. And then what just happened after this? Okay, so bishop captured the pawn on g3, pawn took, and knight felt off. The bishop came on f4. I think this itself is a mistake in itself because the knight is hanging and at the same time the square was being attacked 2 times. So, okay, I think black was slightly better in the position, but maybe their time control, the clock went against them. But both played really well. They had almost the same material and piece activity too. We are in the last 21 minutes of the tournament. Let us quickly go through the leaderboard and see what is going on. So we have Starfish Pikachu on the 10th position with 10 points. We have Sparsh on the 9th position with 11 points. We have Rayansh on the 8th position with 12 points. We have Dino King on the 7th position with 13 points. We have Nithilin on the 6th position with 14 points. We have Sanvi on the 5th position with 16 points. We have Suhani on the 4th position with 16 points. We have Rishi on the 3rd position with 17 points. We have Samagra on the 2nd position with 18 points. And then finally, we have Raghav on the 1st position with 36 points. This kid has not lost a single game till now, and he's berserking in his most of the games. Wow. That is an incredible number to see.
I'm just
Can
looking
you
at
see
the
the difference
difference
between the first position and second position? The difference is almost double right now.
yeah.
18 times 2. Yeah. This is looking, I think this kid is going to maintain his position. But we need to see, because if you see the difference between the second position and third, and maybe let's say all the way to the sixth position, any of these kids can take the second and third position before the end of the tournament. And let us try to feature the game of Afnan and Raghav, because Afnan is also really experienced and a very good player of Chessbrainz. So he's playing with the black pieces and Raghav is playing with white at this point. We are in the early stage of the opening and we have this England gambit. Pawn has went on e6 here after taking. We need to see what white is going to do now. If they come without preparation, they can get crushed. Is this early withdrawal of the queen, was this needed actually?
No, sir. I think White should have
Oh, offering the knight trade.
the minor piece activity first, the opening only, as the king is also in the center. Wow.
I
Wow.
hope, I really hope, white doesn't lose their streak. Pawn to f3, weakening the king more. Afnan is coming ahead with his piece activity, trying to threaten the c2 fork in the position. Knight capture c2 is also doable after, obviously, pawn takes, rook takes is coming, and black is going to wait. What just happened?
Was there any tactics that rook takes bishop?
Just a second. After the queen trade, the knight is threatening the bishop, and black has played bishop to g4, leaving this bishop hanging and threatening the opera here.
Yes, that's why I was telling, please. Yeah.
Oh my god. And then black left the bishop hanging. Their two bishops are hanging at once, if we notice here.
Yeah.
And then they decided to come up with this fork idea. Okay, quite courageous, but was that calculative approach? Knight captures the bishop on e3.
Rook takes the bishop. Yeah.
Rook takes bishop can be a good way to continue, but then also, I mean, after knight captures, your rook will run into the trouble with the bishop, let's say.
Yeah. But still, the idea of knight c2 would be alive. Knight c2 would be alive if the knight was still there.
Then the dark square bishop went into the grave, and the position is still on, but the d3 pawn is a bit weak after bishop takes. But are you going to exchange a minor piece for... Are you going to exchange a minor piece for just winning a pawn when you have less material? That is going to be a question. Okay. So they beautifully removed the defender and then they decided to make a capture there.
And now
I think white is smoothly going to win this game. Yeah.
Yes.
And black is doing trades. I don't know how good that idea can be. Maybe they could have thought of playing the knight to, e5, and maybe that could have been better, but who knows? Oh, wow. This is the reason, even if you are an 1800, castling does count to your king's safety.
A very
And
good point mentioned.
yes, and black just lined up a rook on the king, silently pinning this pawn on the king, and then the knight was hanging, and then yeah. But on the other hand, just to not justify, but then Raghav is only having less than 1 minute in the clock. I think he has berserked, and because of that, it is creating a bit of challenge for the kid to continue from here. But again, it's the pieces are still the same. Both have 6 pawns and two rooks, one minor piece, so it still looks the same. We need to see how this equal position is going to turn. Can Raghav still make out of this position against the time pressure? They have did a pawn lever here. They can't take with the rook obviously because the bishop will fall. Let's just try to see what happened after all that. The rook came. On the second rank, it is already a very solid move in itself. The king is already, into some sort of mating net right now. H5 pawn is hanging, but you can't take H5 because maybe I can meet it with rook to H8.
Yeah,
Maybe you
rook
can try to intervene the bishop. Position is really tricky here. Again, there's a lot of calculation required. Oh, they removed the defender and then they executed the mate. What a beautiful game by Afnan here. Just being a 1400, playing his tactics right, castling, piece activity. Yes, he stumbled a bit when multiple of his pieces were being threatened, but he somehow came out of that position and still made. And finally, Raghav's streak is gone here. But yeah, Samagra is coming right now on the second position, and he's now taking on Raghav. Again, Samagra cannot outplay in the remaining time, but we need to see how this position turns later.
again. I think Raghav has berserked his game against Samagra.
Yes, I mean, I would love to feature that game.
Yeah.
Okay, Samagra is black right now, and again, okay, this time Raghav decided to castle, and they have created a threat. And here, black is the one who this time has not castled. I think Raghav has already taken the lesson from the last game and being there for understanding the game better and coming with an improved version of himself. But yeah, I think the piece activity is still something he need to look after. But yeah, he's ahead in the game too.
Yeah. I think he's planning knight g5, knight f7. I think so.
Yes. Knight f7 is currently covered by the bishop, but we need to see how that turns later. I'm just thinking what white can do to take advantage along this way. Maybe going for bishop b5 and creating some long-term threat, then maybe trying to remove that bishop and then maybe moving your knights all of the sudden. When the queens are off the game, okay, we need to also have an idea of playing the positions where the queens are not there. The kid needs a separate training for that, obviously.
Yes.
One of the pawn is going to fall here.
Yeah, black is
Long
going to pawn.
Yes.
Actually, two. Wow.
Knight is
Wow.
Yeah. Putting pressure on the pin piece. I think white immediately came up with some
Knight
better
f7. Knight
f7.
Oh. They missed it?
Yeah, knight f7 was already in the air, but they are threatening some sort of their own attack right now. If you see, it's okay.
Yes.
I mean, for 1800, I mean, obviously he should be going for this, but maybe the kid is preparing something else. Maybe he's having a better plan.
I think so. Knight b6. Yeah.
Knight b6. Something is cooking in the air because now, if you see,
Yes.
probably he wants to go for the mate rather than going for maybe the material.
Yes.
But then let's
I
say
don't think so it's possible to save that bishop. Is it? I don't think so, sir.
there's no way right now which can save that. But on the other hand, I would like to see then how black is going to stand this attack. Now they're going for the fork. Oh, okay.
Winning both the rooks. Rook takes d7 first. Rook takes, knight takes. Oh, okay.
Doable. Maybe if they now want to complicate the position more, rook takes h7. I was thinking of the same actually. Taking there, yeah. White is in a good space.
Have the rook.
Skewer The rook has felt apart. Rook to d8 is a game over now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mate. Yeah.
wonderful game by the white here. Black played really well, but I think the king's safety has again costed. So we have seen two back-to-back games where the king's safety has played an important role. And Raghav was again on the berserk, so I think this kid is, again managing the time well than others, I guess. Because of
Yeah.
his berserk, I think he has got so many points. Not only winning those games, but then berserking at the right time, and then that has given him one extra point
Steal.
for each game.
Yes. Yeah.
That is also one of the things here. Can you please pick up a random username from this page?
Arjun S8, maybe number 19.
Yes. So Arjun is playing with the white pieces, and Livanish is playing with the black pieces in this position. King safety again, but center is closed fortunately, so it will not impact the game that much. In the last couple of games, the center opened up in the early stage of the game only, because of which it played a very huge role.
Should black go for d5? Should they? No. The e5 will be hanging. Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you going to capture towards the center, or are you going to open up the queen? Though it doesn't have any good significance for now. Knight is
Yes.
covering it. White is placing his pawns in the light squares right now, if we see, for easy movement of his bishop. I think Livinish knows what he's doing right now. He knows a free handy movement for his dark square bishop, and now bishop
Yeah.
captures b6 is already in the air.
Mhm.
They blocked it. They went in for a rook lever, I guess. So are they not looking to castle?
No, I think the white
Center
king
is
is going
closed.
to be in the center.
Hmm. Even though that check doesn't have any good significance if your queen isn't into the attack, but we need to see how the kids are going to make out of their positions. Maybe
I
rook h6,
wish
but
don't play queen d2 or queen d2. No, please. Rook will be hanging. Okay, bishop. Yeah, bishop e3. Good.
bishop is better. Yeah, queen d2 is a problem in itself, right? As you stated,
Yeah, rook
takes
is
and
hanging,
skewer,
man.
and the. I mean,
Go lose both the rooks.
yeah, the both rooks can fall in one move. This is why castling is really important, because when you move the queen after you complete the castle, your rooks are they're automatically connected by default, right? They're
Yes.
connected by default. So then you don't have to look after the rook safety and everything. But if you don't castle, you need to play with new dynamics and new nuances, which can make the
Yeah.
game, a bit out of your comfort zone. Black is trying to like now march their king from the king side to probably the queen side, and knight is hanging. They can't get the king moving now. They need to get a queen support or something before they move it further. On the other hand, is white having some way to take advantage of that knight pin? Maybe they can take here, but then queen takes is also in the air.
Yeah, maybe rook h6. Maybe.
Rook h6 is a way to go, obviously. I mean, it is looking too strong.
Wow.
Black
Can
is
they
covering
takes
it
a rook takes on
properly.
8, taking away the rook from there. Rook takes 8.
And then rook h6. Yeah, why not? Rook takes 8.
Rook
Maybe
takes.
this, but then yeah, they are going to be
The
a rook down.
queen.
So they
Yeah.
rook takes 8. The edge there, rook is going to take back, and then rook h6 looks quite reasonable in this position. Let us see if kids have prepared the tactics. They are on 1300. They can do it. They can miss it. It's up to them and their preparation. Bishop has
Wow.
gone to g5 right now. I mean, rook has gone to g8, trying to deal with that bishop pin. Black
Wow.
decided to
And
trade
queen
down.
f3 is
King takes,
coming.
and then
Wow.
yeah, queen f3 is in the air. So good example of attraction here. They attracted the knight to a more unsafe position, and then developing the queen with the tempo might not have given them the best material advantage, but positionally, I think these are quite important moves to be played. On the other hand, maybe white is looking to simplify the position with a battery, if I'm not wrong.
Double lemon.
And
Natural.
if
Yeah.
if they force the pawn on g4 has it has felt. White wants to
Okay, they
trade
are
down.
winning. Wow. Wow. They won a rook. Yes.
That is correct.
removing the guard. Wow.
Yes. Oh, so queen takes g4 was a blunder here.
Yes.
Rook captures h8 is there, and then I don't think if now black is going to have, I mean, white is going to have any problem winning this position. Yes, the pawn structure of black can become a bit of challenge for white, but I think they have enough time in their clock to figure this thing out. 1 minute and 55 seconds whatsoever they have.
Yeah.
So
Black king going for the b7 pawn safety.
yeah, they can, but maybe white has already seen that and they're going for the f7.
f7. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Now, okay, they're looking to
Ah,
simplify the position. I think they're playing on basics, but ensuring their basics are right.
yes.
I think that's a good strategy. So, again, there's nothing much left in the position. I think if white blunders on their own, or maybe if the clock becomes the enemy, then only white can run into the trouble. Otherwise, they have already did really well in this position. I'm just thinking of a tactic right now. Maybe rook h5, rook captures e5, something like that.
Yes. No, they are after the rook only. Wow.
But that can lead to threefold. So again, you need to be uh, really present in the game. If you just do it without paying attention, it can lead to a threefold where your attention wasn't there, and then maybe black must be the one who must be taking a sigh of breath, obviously.
Yeah. Rook on 7 is
Obviously.
heaven. Okay. Rook
Rook on seven is
c7 is the
heaven. Yes,
mate.
seven is heaven. Yeah, and this was they
Okay.
were
Guarding
threatening
the.
a mate. Wait. I'm
Yeah.
just thinking, can we give a rook pair and then can we play with a passer, forcing the trade here? Not very sure. Is that
I
doable?
think so. King will make. Black king will
Doable
make. And
in
now
time,
he's moving up. Yeah,
but
I
then we
think
can
so.
get
He'll
our king
move.
also.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Why
mean,
not? Yes.
our king can then use this corridor from g3 h4 sort
Yeah,
of game at the end, and maybe we can work it out.
definitely.
Something like that.
Wow.
Some bold step has to be taken. Otherwise, that rook can become a bit of problem. Or keep the rooks up on the board and keep on, moving your. Black has decided to trade. This is already not looking good now. Just get a queen and finish it off. Because we are in
Yes.
the last 3 minutes, so you need to collect your point before the tournament clock actually runs out. Otherwise, all your hard work might not pay you. That's for real. Come on. Queen
Take
d5
on D
maybe.
side.
Yeah, take on d6 also. That is also possible. Good checkmate.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, good game by the Arjun here. Playing the basics and getting a securing a win right before the tournament was meant to end.
Yeah.
Now Raghav has already taken the pause with the lead of 40. I mean, leading by the 41 points, and he knows
Yeah.
no one can outplay him right now. Starfish Pikachu was somewhere in the top from top 5 to top 10, and now he suddenly made it in the second position. So good comeback by this kid as well.
Yes.
Okay, we are in last 2 minutes. Is there any game we can feature? So the third, fourth, and fifth position, they all are on 20 points, and they can, anytime, the leaderboard can change for the third spot, I guess.
Sure.
Okay, which game is worth taking? Yeah, Nithilin coming here. Nithilin and
But
Sanvi both have the same points, and they're taking on each other. No, the game has just
no,
got complete.
Nicolan is against Arush, I think so.
Yeah,
Oh, no?
Sanvi has also taken a pause. Atvik, can all of the sudden, let's see, 2 minutes are left.
Yeah, sure.
Can they complete and, I mean, now they are going to show their bullet skills.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Maybe
Same.
95.
Totally equal material, 95 castles, yeah.
One of the main plan of black here is to, either get the e5 break or the c5 break in the middle game.
Yeah.
Okay, white has castle. Now black needs to break the center. In general, the c5 break is considered an easier one because generally due to the piece placement of white, they will not allow to break with the e pawn. Queen to b6, not very sure. Yes, they can threaten b2 if they want to, but is it the best choice? I'm not sure. because now ideas like knight d7 can be in the air if this knight moves at any point. Maybe like
Yes.
bishop is
Bishop
gonna
g5 when you're
take, then
taking it
knight
forward.
d7 at some point.
Mm.
It can make the things tricky for both sides.
Maybe bringing any one of the rook in the center. Yeah,
Okay,
better.
breaking with
Wow.
c5 is an important deal here to liberate your dark square bishop in the position. And then this game can, no, taking with the bishop was better, I guess. Now, on the other hand, that fork is still in the air,
Oh
but
my God, right.
it missed that bishop was already serving the responsibility of keeping the knight up.
God, yeah.
They went here, they blundered a piece, and already queen trade.
Good.
Okay.
Yes. We are
Why
going.
white
We
is
were
offering
going
a
this.
trade when they have less material? That's a question.
Correct.
Anyways, they're on 1500. I think they shouldn't be trading at this point, but fine. Probably they will take the lesson after this game, I guess. We are in the last 7 seconds, and this game is not ending in the near time, I guess. So let's quickly go and see what is taking place. So finally, our tournament has concluded. On the
Yeah.
10th position, we have Abhi, the champion, with 17 points. On the ninth position, we have Fardan with 17 points. On the 8th position, we have Suhani with 18 points. On the 7th position, we have Dino with 19 points. On the 6th position, we have Samagra with 20 points. On the 5th position, we have Atvik on the 20 points. On the 4th position, we have Sanvi with 21 points. On the 3rd position, we have Nithilin with 21 points again, but maybe a better win rate. On the 2nd position, we have Starfish Pikachu, 24 points. And on the 1st position, we have the champion of our tournament, Raghav Sharma,
Yeah.
41 points secured during this tournament and a whooping 83% of win rate.
Yeah.
We congratulate to all the winners and all the guys who came here, participated, and played a wonderful chess. We really respect that. Thank you so much, Coach Shubh, for tuning in and making this evening beautiful for our viewers. We'll
So
meet
it
on
was
the
my.
next video at the same time. The stage is yours if you want to say something to our viewers,
No, I would
anything.
just like to, yeah, congratulate the kids and kids hats off. Okay, just keep showing up, and yeah, the discipline is going to give you a lot more. Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, that's really true. So one last thing, we have a session with Grandmaster Srinath at 10 p.m. If you have missed the 1 p.m. session, please go and register it if you haven't. You will find the link in your respective community, or please get in touch with our coordinators. They'll help you to get it done. Take care till then. Goodbye for the evening. Please enjoy. Take care.